action.
Hey Patrick, how are you doing today?
I'm very good. Ahoy, my friend. Doing very well and trying to stay warm in this cold early winter.
Yeah, like we were discussing before we went live, that winter is not the best of the seasons for me. I always struggle to cope with it, but again, it's part of the seasons here, so we don't have a choice. But and I think it's part of why we also discussed about the different issues that come with the season, which you actually dealt with the last time. But I
Mm.
can see you're always happy. Like I think it's one of your favorites of the weathers or seasons here.
Well, like you said the last time, there's no bad weather, there's only bad dressing.
That's true. That's true. You're very, very correct. I think for me, just my own issue is just the when you try to go around, like you want to run around, the road conditions is
Hmm.
actually what I don't really like. I'm someone that doesn't like the heat or
Mm.
hot weathers. Yeah, I don't like extremely hot environment. So I enjoy the cold aspect of it though.
Mm.
Uh, for one, but again, like I said, when it snows, well, when it's icy on the road, getting around, it's always very challenging. I think it's actually a contributor to why I always feel like that about the winter weather.
Well, the good news is you have 3 more months and then it's going to go back.
Exactly. I don't have a choice. These seasons they come and go. I remember it was just summer not quite long here, and
Very
I
true.
wished it would stay like all year round. But again, if wishes were horses, they say, right? Beggars would ride.
Everyone will ride.
All right, so let's get to it, viewers. Thank you so much for joining us today for another wonderful episode of the Informanos Weekly AI Analysis. And I'm your usual host, Ehoy. And with me is your usual guest, Patrick Bunono, who is an AI expert with over 20 years experience in the field. Thank you so much, Patrick, for joining us once again. And I do hope, as usual, you're going to deliver everything as you always do.
I try, Ahoye, and again, over 20 years I've been involved in both analytics and AI, and I've seen a lot of changes, and excited and always looking forward to my conversation with you.
Perfect. Thank you. Me as well. And I believe our viewers too. Again, the Informanos Weekly AI Analysis is the podcast where we talk about everything AI, what it is, what it is all about, what is coming next, and what it means for all of us.
Mm.
Again, for today, before now, I just want to take our viewers on the journey we've been, right, with this. We've been dealing with generative AI questions. I think we've actually dealt with it exhaustively. And again, we believe with our audience, we've already covered the intro, use cases, ethics, future, and basics. And
Mm.
then the next step for us is to go deeper and more original.
Mm.
So we're going to be looking at, again, our pattern or strategy with these podcasts and questions and answering is just to ensure that we are progressive about it. We just
Mm.
want to go on a journey with this
Mm.
so that no stone is left unturned.
Mm.
And again, for today, we'll be looking at AI thinking, reasoning, and decision making.
Mm.
You know, now the whole conversation for today that we'll be starting with is beyond the AI is smart quotes.
Mm.
Okay, now my first question to you, Patrick, is this: does AI actually reason? Do they actually reason, or is it just very good at pattern prediction?
So that's a great question. The short answer is mostly pattern prediction, supported by tools that make it look like it's reasoning. AI doesn't really think like humans think. At its core, it predicts the most likely next answer based on patterns in data. So for example, let's say that I say, hey, Ahoy, I'm thirsty. I want to drink something. You may look at me and you may look at me and say, this guy needs some nice coke based on what you're seeing. But if I ask AI the same thing, hey, I'm thirsty, I need to drink something, AI is going to be very confused. Does he need tea? Does he need water? Does he need coke? When I provide some more content and say, you know what, I'm just relaxing with my friend at home, I've had a good dinner, just want to drink something, warm and fuzzy, then I might recommend chocolate or tea, or other kind of hot drink. And so at its core, AI is predicting the most likeliness answer based on patterns in data. Engineers and other folks then add logic, rules, memory, and feedback system on top, which makes it appear to reason. So AI isn't really thinking; it's doing statistically guided problem solving. AI reasons the way a calculator understand math, powerful
Mm.
but not conscious.
Hmm. All right. I mean, you drew a comparison between AI and humans to say if you were to ask me what you would want. But I think it's going to be the same pattern though, because I'm going to be very specific. Like, what exactly would you be interested in? Like, is it going to be coffee, milk, or Coke or something? But I think it will be guided with the fact that maybe I know your choice always, right?
Yes,
I will
yes.
always be like, each time Patrick drinks, he likes taking Coke or he likes taking coffee and all of that,
Mm-hmm,
and maybe I would just go by Coke, right? I would just to
mm-hmm.
confirm that it's still what you want, and
Exactly.
and I believe AI does that as well. There's a way AI follows a memory, like this is what you've always done. Is it
Mm-hmm.
this or and maybe suggest something, maybe a newer product in the market that you might be interested in, right?
Very true. So you have to provide that context,
Hmm.
to that AI. Again, remember it's trained on data, and so if there's something, if I behave in a certain way, let's say we're talking suddenly, and I start twitching, or I
Hmm.
start coughing, you're like, okay, Patrick, I'm getting you water.
Ah,
Right away,
true.
make a judgment call. So if I behave
Hmm.
in a way that is outside the data, as a human, you can make a judgment call right away. Right now, AI
Yeah.
is not
Yeah.
able to handle anything
Oh,
on the
okay.
edge or anything
Okay.
that is weird. And so it will give you an answer, but may not give you the right answer.
Get it. Thank you very much. I mean, I needed that clarification, particularly because I
Absolutely.
can guess what my audience will be thinking to say, hey, humans would also do that. I mean, AI does that very well, but you just, I mean, dealt with it
Yeah.
correctly on
Yeah.
the
It,
exact,
it's also
yeah,
like emotional intelligence. You know,
yes,
I have
yes.
my 11-year-old daughter is has a high degree of emotional intelligence. And
Hmm.
sometimes you say, "Daddy, are you not happy?" And I said, "Why did you say that?" He said, "Well, when you talk like this, or when you answer me like this is how you were looking." I'm like, "Oh my goodness!" Like she can read the mood in a place, and she knows when things are
Hmm.
off. You know, um, and I don't have that talent. I'm sure she got it from her mom.
Well, again, I was about to say an apple doesn't fall far from the tree,
It's the mom
but
thing.
again, I'll still be right still because I mean, you're just a parent, and with the
Yeah,
mom,
it's the mom.
it's
It's
she
the
got
mom
it from
tree.
that.
It's the mom tree.
Wow, that's
Not the dad tree.
interesting. That's interesting and such a gift though, because
Oh
again,
my
talking about
goodness.
emotional intelligence, not everybody is emotionally
No,
intelligent.
no, she's oh my
Yeah.
god, she's I mean 11 years old. Oh my, she's her emotional intelligence, and she can have a conversation. This has been since I mean, she's the last born of three.
Mm-hmm.
The way she can have a conversation with a 50-year-old,
Hmm.
and you will think that she's 50 years old, and they can have a conversation with a 10-year-old, and you will know that she's
Hmm.
still so. Again, very highly intelligent emotionally, and able to understand when those weird moments happen.
Okay, can we say AI can AI be emotionally intelligent in any way?
Uh Today, this is my 2 cents. Today,
Uh-huh.
maybe not. Tomorrow,
Uh-huh.
yes. I see that.
Okay.
Yes. In the future, yes. I believe that that's going to be possible. Where I mean, think of having a robot that's able to analyze all your facial expressions,
Mm-hmm.
all your movement and everything, your mood. I was having a chat with not a young man, with a mentor, kind of an older man, on Friday. I think it was Friday or Thursday. We were having coffee and chatting. Or last week, I think it was Wednesday, not Friday, Wednesday, and he was telling me about the white guy. He was learning Chinese, And he was telling me about learning Chinese and understand the difference between, ma and ma and ma,
Mm-hmm.
how you can have a word, ma, and
Mm-hmm.
depending on how the person speaks it, says it, it means different things.
The
And he said,
intonation. Yeah.
intonation, and he said
Yeah.
his mom was asking him, why are you learning Chinese? And his wife is his wife is Chinese,
Hmm.
but he said, why are you learning Chinese? And he said, Patrick, that learning Chinese has helped him to be very attuned to the intonation of
Hmm.
what you are saying, not just the words coming from your mouth. And so the guy he does strategy sessions for organizations. He does facilitation. And so he said when he's in a meeting and people are giving feedback or talking, he can hear more than what they are saying.
Hmm.
He can hear the tone, the
Hmm.
the hesitation, uh,
Hmm.
the unease. He can hear that just because he's learning Chinese. So he knows he can interpret what somebody is saying beyond just words. Um,
Hmm.
and I'm like, oh my goodness, that's something that's a skill that I'm still learning. You
Oh
know,
wow.
And so I feel like in the future, AI will be able to be trained well enough to hear you talk, but hear beyond what you are saying and analyze your voice, your intonation. Were you anxious when you said that? Were you like, what was his tone like?
Hmm. Hmm. Thank you very much. And I think I mean uh, this particular topic segues into our next question, which is where does today's AI fail most badly? When logic or common sense is required, where does it
So
fail most badly? I think this is part of
yes,
it, though, but we
yes.
could just expound on it. Yeah.
So like I said, three main weaknesses. Sometimes AI can confuse correlation with causation. Sometimes when you have strange or unusual situations, so AI works best on typical situations, but struggles when something is unusual or unrealistic or out of the ordinary. Now, humans instantly notice when something feels off, but AI may still confidently give you the wrong answer. So when something is off, is not aligned with pattern, then AI will give you we may not be able to work well in that sense. I remember, I was watching a movie one time, and they were uh, talking about, so they have this army, these leaders, and they were talking about the enemy, how the enemy was able to pinpoint where they will be. And so
Hmm.
they realized that one of them, the enemy had a tracking on him and
Okay.
knows how he moves,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
so able to predict what's going to happen in the future. And so they decided that, you know what, since the enemy has a tracking on you, don't change what you do, but we're going to change how we do things.
They create a decoy. Yeah.
Uh-huh. We're going to do things outside of
Yeah.
the normal pattern.
Hmm.
So that's where AI struggles. If something out of the pattern, if tomorrow now we humans decide that, you know what, 1 plus 1 is no longer equal to 2, 1 plus 1 is equals to 200,
Mm-hmm.
and you ask AI, what is 1 plus 1? It's going to be confused. What's happening here?
Ah,
Why is it?
sure.
So when
Yeah.
something is out of the ordinary, when something is unusual or unrealistic, AI will struggle. But if it's typical situations, AI is great at it.
Oh, wow. And again, just to tie this back to the whole machine learning concept, I think they can only be able to do their predictions or help when there's sufficient machine
Information.
learning to that
Yes,
aspect, to that level as well.
absolutely. And
Great.
and, and, and this is why, let's say that you're doing let's say you're using ChatGPT for strategic planning.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, uh, if you use ChatGPT alone, it's not going to help your company because your company has its own internal context
True.
and policies, and so you may
True.
find that yes, it's been trained with several data from the web, but each company has its own nuances, and it will
Mm.
struggle at that level of nuanced support
Mm.
without any additional help or context.
And does this ascribe to the fact why? you should always have your AI, tailored. Like you could always configure it to suit
Your organization. Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
Yes.
I mean, the circumstances and the elements of your own organization. I
Yes.
think this forms that purpose.
Yes.
Perfect. Great. Thank you very much for that. And my next question would be this. Now, what's the difference between reasoning, planning, and intelligence in AI systems? You know,
Hmm. Hmm. That's a fantastic question. Let me break it down. Let me break it down. So reasoning, planning, and intelligence. So reasoning can be, you can from an AI perspective, is making
mm-hmm,
logical. You can talk about it as making logical connections. For example,
mm-hmm,
if A happens, then B follows. Okay,
mm,
so that's what you call reasoning. Hey, that logical connections. When you make those logical connections, planning could be ascribed to organizing steps to reach a goal. Okay, I want to become a millionaire. Well, step one, this, step two, this, step three, this. And then intelligence is of the higher order. Intelligence is being able to adapt to new situations and using judgment. Um,
mm,
Most AI today can reason in limited areas and plan when rules are clear. True intelligence, that means being flexible across many situations, is still a major weakness. AI, one can say AI is specialized smart, but not generally wise.
mm. All right. Again, I mean, there are three elements of the whole know-how concept, which is knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. And I mean, we could always say AI is knowledgeable, right? For the wisdom aspect of it, I don't know. I would like you to touch on it. If can I attach such an adjective to AI to say hey, AI is wise? But I would say yes because I mean, dealing with AI and using AI, I could tell the kind of wisdom it injects into whatever it is you've actually put it to do for you. And then the whole understanding aspect of it, which actually correlates with all of these reasoning, planning, and intelligence that we're talking about.
Hmm.
Now, can we measure understanding in machines? Can we measure understanding, and if so, how?
So let me touch on the wisdom aspect.
Hmm.
If I go to AI and say, AI, I'm tired of life, I want to end it,
Hmm.
what should I do? It will give me knowledge. This is how you end life. This is what you should do.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I thought there are guardrails now that it will immediately try to let you know to seek for help. Like,
Well, there are certain guardrails, but certain LLMs to give you the knowledge you need to do what you need to do.
oh my.
But if I come to you and say, Koe, I want to end my life, I'm tired of life, the things I had, Koe, I can guarantee that in the next 15 minutes you'll be encouraging me with words of wisdom.
True.
I mean, I believe you're a Christian, you're going to be sharing scriptures with me.
Mm-hmm.
You may even say, based on your religion or your Christianity, you know what, can I pray with you? Can I,
Mm-hmm.
let's talk to a counselor, let's talk to somebody. Patrick, you can't just give up. You can't just,
Mm-hmm.
like, you're going to start bringing wisdom to the table,
Mm.
you know, and that's where I think is lacking, except if it is structured in a way to
Yeah,
bring
no.
that level of wisdom. So back to your question about measuring understanding in machines. Um,
Mm.
I don't think one can measure that directly, only by watching how they behave. I mean, we can't really say whether AI truly understands anything. However, we can look at how well it performs by asking questions around: does it stay consistent? Can it apply knowledge to new problems? Does it correct mistakes? If it does well, we treat it as understanding, even though we don't know what's happening internally. I mean, in summary, what
Mm.
you can say is that with AI, we're measuring competence, not consciousness.
Mm. So it's competence over consciousness with AI.
Yes.
Okay, are there prospects that this could level up in the nearest future?
I think so. I
Exactly, and
think so.
I agree with you
I
because
think so.
every day there's a lot of work still going on,
Yeah.
and a lot of a lot of budget to ensure that AI is more empowered to do a lot for
hmm
humans. So I believe it
hmm
will also happen as well.
I think so. I mean, if you think about, I mean, I don't want to become philosophical, or if you
Mm,
think about, um, there's something I will say that will make you feel uneasy,
mm,
or feel not happy, or feel angry, or feel excited, or feel happy. I mean, we can have a conversation that after the conversation you leave my presence feeling lifted.
true.
You can also have a conversation where you leave my presence feeling down.
Downcast. True.
Your consciousness, your humanness, your personality. Right
True.
now, AI doesn't have that. I mean, AI doesn't live.
True.
You don't talk AI. You don't talk AI. AI is like, after today's conversation, I feel really sad,
Mm. Oh wow.
or I feel really
Okay.
down.
But again, we see. I mean, we see online that there are robots that are being built that could provide such support, right?
Yes,
Emotional supports and all of that. Now,
yes.
how does all of these fit in into this conversation?
So I think that, and it's a great question, and I have to also provide a caveat. You can build. So I had a chat with a professor from the University of Toronto, and
Okay.
you have this system they are building, and to help people handle certain situations. So you can build an AI and make it an angry AI,
Hmm.
or an understanding AI. So if you think about handling emotions, think about therapies. If a therapist, somebody comes into your office and they're angry. Oh my goodness,
Hmm.
I'm really angry. My spouse made me angry. I feel like as a therapist, you're trained on how to manage that emotion, right?
True. Yeah.
You don't respond to emotional outbursts with an emotional outburst. You calm the person down, you ask some questions, and so that knowledge, that training can also be given to AI. Somebody can come in angry or dejected or feeling down, and again, similar to how a therapist would engage the person and help them separate how they feel from what they need to do. AI can also do something similar. And that's why, I think a lot of people are using AI as a therapist, because AI can actually do a lot of things that is similar to what a therapist would do. Having said that, I still recommend to folks who are listening, if you need to talk to a therapist, please find a real human therapist.
Great. Thank you very much, Patrick, and viewers. That's where we will, peg it for today. Again, like I said, we have more interesting topics, which will be continuation of what we've actually discussed for today. But for today, we just want to leave it at this. For today and for now, until we see again next time. But please, if this is your first time of joining this podcast, we have a list of other episodes that we would like you to go through, just so you follow up to this point. Even though these topics are quite independent, but again, we've tried as much as possible to make it sequential, just so that they all tie into each other. But again, of course, they are very much independent for knowledge sakes. Thank you so much, and please don't forget to subscribe, like, and also share as well with your loved ones. Until we see you again next time, I'll say thank you so much for listening and have yourself a wonderful week ahead. Thank you, Mr. Patrick. It's always awesome listening to you dissecting these topics. And the next topic, data, knowledge, and truth. That's just a teaser, just so that you can keep an appointment with us by next week, Sunday, as well, while we deal with this topic. Thank you, everyone. And again, as I mentioned before, have yourself a lovely week. Take care and God
Take care.
bless.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Bye.
Bye.